Hello again. I decided to double dip today, and actually that's led to a scenario where I actually need to redo a recording session. Mainly because I encountered a room which I was not expecting to be extremely troublesome. So last time we left off with Oxid Maze. Getting the part-time on this was as easy as I predicted. Dead ball walking was a little bit difficult, and jump actually gave me quite a fair bit of trouble, mostly just because of all the blind jumps. But that aside, let's do Hall of Glass. So I figured this one out on my initial attempt of this recording. It's quite simple. How it works is each of these Shogun Stones disables a laser. It only makes a noise when it's enabled and not when it's disabled. So that's how that works. So we do this. We do need to get that one moved. This should be workable, and I'll show you how. So if you die, like that, then you can go to the other side and push these like this. And that's all the lasers cleared. So that's a pretty easy one. And here is the surprise monster, meditation. So this looks like just a normal meditation puzzle, but there's two things about this. First is that the layout is completely symmetrical, and the second is that it's surrounded by pits on all sides, which means if you push these down, then you lose all your balls, and that's not a good thing to have happen to you. So I took a bit to really just figure out what this level's asking of me. And one thing that happens is once you've juggled these around for long enough, I think it takes about a good handful of seconds, you can see that they've desynced. And I believe what is responsible for this desync is the fact that whatever collision algorithms they're using use floating point numbers, which basically just means decimals, and specifically that there's a rounding error that's happening because of the fact that the balls on one side have a slightly less precise representation than the ones on the other side, which takes a while to fully cause any real desync, but as you can see, it has happened here. And if I lose one marble, then it will respawn at its original spawn location, but if I lose 3, then I lose the puzzle. And I was thinking about how do I need to solve this? Because even if you desync the marbles, you can eventually, with a good enough, which means just lucky enough loadout, like the one right here, for example, if I almost managed to get it out of there, but I didn't put enough oomph into it. So you can see I've managed to lob one out of there, but I lost another, so that wasn't really the ideal. But the thing is, we can't really rely on that, especially because when there's just one ball left in either hole, then the chance of them desyncing basically becomes 0. They become more and more stable the more you move them. So I formulated a strategy for this one, and I haven't succeeded yet. I spent 20 minutes in the last session trying to basically build up to this point, and also getting interrupted by my dogs barking, which hopefully will not happen this time around. But my strategy is as follows. I have 2 1-ups, and my intent is to use them. Specifically, if I can create a scenario where there are 2 marbles in one hole and 4 in the other, then I can temporarily kill the 2 balls that are in that hole, and while they're still waiting to respawn, I shove out all of the other marbles from the other hole. And hopefully that'll be sufficient to solve the puzzle. Of course, we need to get there first. And the first step is taking a few moments to desync everything. And if I lose a marble like that, then it's basically a forced restart, because I don't want to try it for 3 and 1, or just like 1 left in a hole. Getting the desyncs to work out like that just becomes more and more painful and luck-based as time goes on. So there's another failure. It's particularly annoying because I'm not actually sure how specifically the force is applied on these sloped surfaces. Like, it's just sort of dark magic to me. I can't really figure it out. So here's another setup. You can see that the lowest one in the top one is slightly lower than the lowest one in the bottom one. That scenario is what we want, but we want it to be a greater gap than that, because, again, actually getting these out of the holes is the really hard part. We've created some L shapes here. I am wondering if there's some sort of strategy that involves, like, creating a lineup on one side, which desyncs on the other side, which seems at least theoretically plausible. Like, we line everything up, and then the idea here would be that we break this formation on one side, but not on the other. Like, just enough instability. Okay, here we go. So here is a situation like that. So now, how we're going to take advantage of this is we're going to shuffle everything to the bottom. And as you can see, one marble is distinctly higher than another right now. So we're going to take advantage of that by trying to... Okay, so that didn't quite work out as I'd hoped. As you can see, I did get 2 marbles out, but at the cost of 1 other. And the reason that's going to be so much pain to deal with is because it's going to be extremely hard to get another ball out of the bottom hole, while there are so many on the other hole that also are just sort of chaotically inclined to stack up in an upper formation. So if we could, like, keep that 2 on the bottom in place, but... Actually, here's something. So it feels like the pressure of that L shape, like the stack of 3, is actually more adept at pushing one out. Okay, so there's something funny. And perhaps... So we've gone and booted another one out like that. So if we can just get one more lucky desync with these two, like something like this. Precisely this, actually. So if we can get just that last one out of the bottom, then we should be able to deploy our strategy. Of course, it's quite dangerous because okay, here we go. So we've gotten our desync back. Let's also go ahead and try to get those two marbles back into their little homes. Darn, I lobbed two out. Yeah, if you are just a little bit off on how forceful you move the marbles, then you basically just risk losing the entire puzzle. But if you aren't forceful enough, then it's back to the juggling for you. So I'm thinking maybe the setup I want is a setup with 4 in a line formation on one side, and then 4 in a square formation on the other. So it seems to really want to collapse into a line formation, though. Like, here's an L shape. That's not quite what we want. Perhaps if we use that sort of pressure thing. Like, if we can flatten them horizontally in one, but then have a vertical desync in another, that's basically the core of the strategy here. Of course, making that happen is hard and basically depends completely on luck, but here I've gotten basically the right idea, but the wrong orientation. You really get to admire just how precise this is. So now we're in a similar situation as before, except still kind of doomed because I feel like we do need that extra life, at least one extra life, in order to deal with the last ball in a hole temporarily. So, back to juggling. So it looks like we've got a sizable desync here. So let's see, can we attempt? I don't think we can attempt anything right now. Here's a nice vertical desync. But the thing is, okay, so here's the thing about moving on these slopes, is that the more distance you have to run up, the more velocity you get up the slope, which means like an easier time going across. And the thing is, I think I actually want to have, when there is a desync, I want to line it up as close to the slope as possible before moving, so that I exert exactly enough force to get it above the slope without hopefully getting the other one around. But my wording's already sort of starting to crumble here. This one might actually be Like, I'm not joking around. This might actually be the hardest puzzle or level which I've had to deal with so far. It's genuinely that hard. Here's a nice setup, so... Almost had something happen there, but it wasn't slated for fate, it seems. Can we make that square? I'd really like to be able to make that square, but unfortunately we've gone and created the same old, same old. It really might just be as tedious as waiting for, like, the ultimate formation. Now we've got something like that. That's not quite the ideal, but... maybe we can pressure bump one out, at least. I think we can still go for it. Come on. And the formation's broken again. That's unfortunate. Yet again, a good formation, but just facing the wrong way. Alright. We can try for another pressure bump. This really might just be the next, like, entirety of the recording session, even with me having to do it over. Like, this is a genuine nightmare. And I believe the one who made this, Siegfried, is the same one who made the warp maze. So I guess, whoever they are, they know how to make things painful. Okay, hold on. I think we might have the, well, it sort of collapsed on itself. Yeah, it's really hard to hold that formation for a long time. Okay, we bumped one out. That's better than nothing. So now if we can make a square on one side. Come on, get that square going. Okay, and next up, we also need the line on the other side, which is probably the harder part. But hopefully we can use the chaos on the bottom to get something to happen. Hear my dog horking something up. I'm not sure if I want to try for a bump on the bottom. This is such a delicate level. I imagine this is one of those levels which you just sort of make without knowing if it'll be possible, and then you just sort of pat yourself on the back once you realize there is a way to do it. Like, that's the reading that I get from this. Okay, well, you know what? I will take bumping that out. We do need to bump out at least one more, but maybe this will be it. We can do it on either side. All it takes is just getting the formation. Okay, so now it's arranged for on the bottom. So we're going to shuffle this up, get those lined up, and the push failed. But at the very least, I think I can get back to that state. Here we go. So now we have it going on in the top. So we do that. Drop a battery. I don't think it matters right now. And that's really unfortunate. Now we need to jettison 2 out from a hole in order to get anything to work. I'm not dedicating to that. Okay, so yet another restart. It's funny too. This is not only the hardest, level I think I've encountered so far, but even for a meditation level, this is orders of magnitude worse than anything else. I think I'm getting slightly better at lining these up whenever they do desync. Almost. Alright, so we'll do this. Oh, the formation sort of crumbled. But I think we're back in shape. Okay, so that's one. That's 2. And now we're in the same state that we were in last time, where we just have to get a good enough layout and then pressure bump it. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually getting pretty good at finessing this. Okay, so now for the real hard part, which is... Come on. Okay, we've got it. So, how do we want to approach the execution phase here? Well, I guess like that. I actually wasn't intending that, but luckily it did happen. So, now for the part which I really don't want to mess up. Yeah, I want to be extremely careful here, because... Okay, they're all out. So this is the road to victory now. From here on is just normal meditation fare. So I think I got it. Oh, I desynced the ones in the bottom. Level finished. Oh, never again. I might skip the part-time on that. Who knows? I honestly, I might be crazy enough to try for it once I'm done with this. But now for Deadly Cross, which, genuinely, this looks so much easier. Like, after that other one, I'd know what true pain looks like. You can't scare me with this layout. That said, it would be funny if this was one of those one-life puzzles. Alright. It's not, so that's good. So now I just need to bump this a few more times. Yeah, so it's certainly, if this was earlier on, then I'd probably have some trouble with it, but I'm getting adjusted to life with those now. Oh, and here's something interesting. Okay, so these are, I believe the notes are about to explain them, but as you can tell, these are Shogun stones, but they are larger ones. And in fact, how it works is there's basically several tiers of Shogun stone, and you need a high tier of stone on a high tier of button to activate it. So, and how it works is basically the high tier Shogun stones are a collection of lower tier ones. Like this three one is comprised of a small one, then a medium one, then a large one all together. And you can basically push them in and out of each other. And that's how that works. And if you do, for example, this, so I'm not quite sure how to finagle this just yet. It almost feels like a Tower of Hanoi construction. The wise man laughs. Okay. Who speaks does not know. Okay. Who knows does not speak. Interesting. I was expecting an explanation, but at the very least I can provide the explanation myself, so that's how these work. Let's restart. The Enigma... Okay, well, there it says it in the title. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but that is very funny. So I think... Yeah, so we can't push larger ones into smaller ones, but we can transfer smaller ones into larger ones. So we need to get the large one onto one of the buttons is the thing. So how do we go about that? I think we need to have the small one inside the medium one here. There we go. And now... Okay, I think I'm getting it now. So you do this, and then that. Okay, so that's the first one. And now we need to basically invert that. So I believe it's like this. Then move this to the other side. Then like that. In. Do that. Alright, I got the hang of it. Level finished. That seems like it'll be not too hard to go for a part-time on, unless it's particularly mean. So, what's up next? Castle Maze. Okay, another Lucas map. So, what's in the vortex? Okay, so this is a warp maze. Is there adjacency going on? Perhaps. Seems like it. I do recognize this. So this seems to be a laterally connected warp maze, which is nicer than the twice-twice-fill. Even if it's going to probably be a bit of effort to figure out where I am either way. Alright, we found one oxide stone. This is cute. I presume the other one will probably way off in a corner somewhere. Oh, there's multiple. Okay. So yeah, this is basically just a maze where you cannot see where you're moving to ahead of time. That's all this is. Got a few nothing paths. There should be one. Okay, there we go. So, looks like there's one in each corner, so to speak. So there should be one more, probably in a top right corner. So that's where I'm going to go now. This is cool. And it is cool to see these all different floor types. It's sort of comfy, you know. So let's go up now. Let's try over here. Okay, and I got the par on that too, and that's fun. Alright, light switches. We've seen this one before. So, next up is Islands by Jacob Scott. Alright, another Jacob level. I know now not to mess with Jacob. He can throw some pretty gnarly ones at me. So, this looks like another island bridging puzzle. We've got a one-way, which is slightly concerning, and it seems like our entire goal is to bridge to the right. Which is looking like a pretty multifaceted puzzle. I might need to use death warping to solve this one, since that is at least one way to get around the one-way block there. So it looks like what we want to do is let's just try things out for a little bit. So let's say that we bridge like this. So that's that. Now an issue arises, but I think it might be resolvable. So let's take this. And let's push it down. That allows us to push this out of the way. Now we do need to sacrifice 2 more blocks, or 1 more block at least, to allow us to push blocks down here. And I'm trying to assess the value of that. We should be able to build that lower bridge, actually. So let's see. It would involve this. Try not to bump into the water there. So we fill this in. So that's 1 block. Let's bump this down, as well as that. And then with this, we can bump that down. So I think I understand that part of the puzzle at least. I think it was actually, I should not have sacrificed a block here. So that's probably going to necessitate a restart. But at the very least, let's see what's up once we bridge the bottom here. I was not paying attention, and I just pushed that into the corner. Alright, let's restart for real then. So let's push that down, this down, this down, this up, that left, and that there. Alright, so 1 block goes into here. And now, what we want to do is push this here, and then push it all the way to the left, and then down, and then we'll do that again for this one over here. Luckily, it doesn't take that much force to push these blocks. And now that we're down here, we can do this. So that bridge is starting to formulate, which is good. That does leave the issue now. I really should think about what am I actually going to do down there. And it's starting to seem like maybe not much. Because the fundamental issue remains. I need to be able to... Okay, so here's something else. So let's try bridging across to the right like this. We'll use this to start the bridge over there, and we'll use this to continue it. Then there's that over there. And next up, we'll use this. So 3 more blocks to continue the bridge. We'll do this to get that down there. And now, we can bridge across here and bump this down. And then be a little bit careful. Don't want to bump that to the side. So now we have a bridge across here. And now with this, what can we do? I see it. So we do this. We needed to bump that one in the corner to the left. Let's see. Is this a restart? Okay, yeah. It's a restart on death puzzle. But that's not too bothersome to me. So we'll do this. And this. And this. And this. And now let's get this working. Alright. I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing here. Just gotta be careful not to die, since we now know that this is a puzzle where death is not a viable thing. So now we're down here. We go across. And I bumped that too hard. Yep, so this is the classic Enigma experience. Hey, at least it means I can try to do it a little bit faster, see if I can't go for a par in the video. Died again. Yeah, so it might take a few minutes for me to get this, but at the very least, I am pretty sure that I see the solution path now. And I can explain it when I get there again, which will happen whenever it happens. Yeah, I think that the trick to not bumping yourself into the water or into another block is you want to just like keep holding in that direction that you push it so that you decelerate in that direction. So there's that done. Looks like we're coming up on it pretty soon. So now what we do is we push this down here and through here. Now we push this to the left, like that. We go around. Now it's there. And now we push it to the right. We're going to have to do yet another scary maneuver over water here. And we got it. And now, all we have to do is push this across without falling down. And puzzle solved. Level finished. That wasn't par, so evidently you have to go pretty fast. Simon Says by Nat Price. Got another Nat level. Okay. Interesting. What's going on here? There's a presumably timer on the right. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. This is Simon Says. Right. I didn't even realize. I forgot what the title of the puzzle was. So this is a really funny little construction here. Gonna have to hear that... Oops. Gonna have to hear that silly noise quite a couple of times. I'm actually going to turn this down again. 3 should be fine. Alright. Alright, now on to level 5. I'm getting pretty good at this. Alright, one more to go. Alright, so it's like... like that. I sort of forgot the last 4. Okay, gotta reset. Let's reset it for real, just to go for par again. And if you hit the switches one time too many, then it has to reset. So that's really fun. We're gonna be hearing a lot of this noise. On to level 7. And on to level 8. Cool. Better than par. So my trick for that one, just in case anyone else wants to try that level, is I basically split it, what I had to memorize, into 3 different sort of like strokes, so to speak, once it got to levels like 5 and above, where I sort of like took each group of 3, and I personally chose to interpret it as like a sort of sword slash. And it was easier to memorize the sword slashes than to memorize the whole sequence. Just a little hot tip. You can use similar methods and different metaphors for memory games like that. So that's Simon Says. That was a neat one. Alright, what's up next? Meditation, we've done that one before. Feel Your Way. Another Siegfried map. Oh, right. So this is an invisible maze. I forget if it's the flavor of Invis Maze with springs. Doesn't look like it is. So that's good at least. And there's even sort of a grid going on. So let's try to break into one of the sides here. So that's a match. So red and green. Alright, and then the other red one, just gotta backtrack. I think I'm getting the shape of this maze. Running this one for par times might just be another luck game, but who knows, maybe the time's generous. Good luck it's another Siegfried map. Alright, and we've got a constant rightwards motion on the ball here, and some reverse blocks, which is especially dastardly. And this is evil. Okay, to explain in layman's terms what's going on right now. So we have to go through this death block maze every single time that we want to touch an oxide stone. And luckily, we can just sort of pass through there like that. Although it seems like we accelerate particularly fast on that. And of course, even just slightly bumping the edge of the death blocks is enough to kill us. But yeah, so we accelerate slightly faster on the white. I believe it's called an inverse floor in the game files. Okay, so we've done round 1. So now let's touch our oxide stones and see if we can get a match. No, we can't. So that's red and blue. I would presume that this is one of those types of maps which has unique oxide shuffling, just to inflate the number of trips that you need to take. I'd honestly say greater than half chance that that is what's happening. But luckily the death block part actually isn't that hard. And now we just need to do one more round, and then we should be golden. So let's go through here. Die. Going upstream and downstream. This is actually quite fun to play. The skulls, avoiding them isn't actually as hard as I thought it'd be. Level finished. I wonder if par was like 1:30. And tubes. Alright, so we're getting the Siegfried special this episode. These are called puzzle blocks. And you can see they're all connected by tubes. And how they work is they're basically blocks you can push, but they all move based on how they're connected. So I push that down, and they can't move over the scaffolds. So here's yellow, and cyan. So it looks like this is a pretty big one. So I think that's the way you want to approach that. It looks like we're going to have to do some backtracking, probably. To like push some of these from the other side. Not entirely sure. Here's something. We can do that. And that allows us to go through here. Here's a little shuffler here. Let's... Not sure if that was the best idea. I might need to restart. We can push this. So that's blue. That's yellow. That's green. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I failed this part, so let's restart. So, how do we want to approach this? So we can't push this unless we go from the left. We can push this left and down, but it seems rather dangerous. If we push this, then that does allow us some form of passage through there, I guess. We have to push at least one of these L's to progress, and I'm pretty sure this is a vertically symmetric layout. So let's just say, without loss of generality, that we have to push this one. Although, let's not count out the possibility of needing to push both. Is there a way to come in from the top and push this some other way? Doesn't look like it, actually. So let's bump that up. And now that allows us passage into here and also through there. So I think that's pretty good. And also there. And now the real question is, again, how do we deal with these large brackets? And I'm pretty sure the solution might actually be that we push them down. But the issue with that is once we push it down, I'm not sure if we can push it back up. Also, I pushed it to the side again, which I'm pretty sure has made it impossible to push it out any other way. Let's just do that for reference. Well, we got a match, so that's lucky at least. Okay, so we can actually reset that. So that's good to know. It's green. All right, let's come around here. So that's cyan. Pretty sure there was a cyan down here. Yep, yellow. So yellow, red, and green are the ones we know. And now that we know we can do this, let's go ahead and push that. And then here. And then apply the inverse of whatever we did last time. Which is to push this like this. Blue. Green. Okay, so there's the green that we're missing. So let's go ahead and plug that in real quick. Hit this red just in case. So what's over here? A blue? No, we already knew that. This is a really slick floor, by the way. Oh, got another match. Okay, so now we push this down. And there's the red that we're looking for. So we should be not too far from the path to victory here, assuming I haven't forgotten something major. Right. I have forgotten something major, which is that I've blocked off all access to the other part of the puzzle where that other one is. And we can't undo it anymore. So, looks like this is a rather stateful puzzle where we have to make sure we're not trapping ourselves at any point. So, once again, pink, green. Do we actually care about having that be up like that? I don't think so. So let's just bump this. So pink and green. Then we bump that there. Oh, got a match. That's good. Cyan. Blue. So pink, cyan, blue. Now we need to push this down. So there's red. And now, right, so we need to have an escape plan here, because we can only now push this right and never back up, which means that it's going to be, oh wait, no, we're fine. Since we can do this and then just push it back like that. So pink, cyan, blue, red, yellow. Okay, so that's looking nice. Let's go ahead and push this up to give ourselves an escape. Is that actually an escape? Yes, it is. So there's the red. Do we remember where the red is? It's that one. Okay, that's good. So now is the part where we do this. So there's our yellow. So let's go ahead and solve the yellow real quick. Just requires a bump this away, followed by a bump that away. And now, right, there is sort of, again, there is a problem of access here. Because, yeah, so we don't have any way into the top quadrant, but if we can solve one of the top ones, then we can fix it. But for now, we want to use a gentler construction. I'm just sort of speaking words. I don't know what I just said right now, so I'm sorry about that. So cyan. That's pink. One of these was cyan. Was it you? It was you. Okay, so we've got cyan solved, which does allow us to do something, assuming we don't accidentally bump a block and cause nightmares. So what that allows us to do is, if we go back around real quick, we can actually, no. We can just sort of leave that like that. That is a good half state to be in, because we already know that it's blue. Alright, so the hard part is moving that out of the way. We should be clear to do this. So there's our pink. And because we've already moved this to the left, we can go around, go down here, and there is our pink dealt with. So now we know the last one's blue. Let's go ahead and just tag it real quick. That should be okay. So, how do we deal with this? We just bump this to the side. Easy as that. Level finished. Alright. Turbulence. Let's see. Do we want to one more level here? Okay, fascinating. So these are all different flavors of slope. And they're sort of like little whirlpools, I guess. Alright. I think I can get used to these whirlpools. Oh, those side ones are quite a nightmare. So, here's a whirlpool here. Oh, there's inwards whirlpools, and then there's outwards ones. So I think... Right, so we want to be a little bit... So there's cyan. There's red. Yeah, this is definitely a level which deserves the name of Turbulence. There's blue. There's green. There's the cyan that we're looking for. So we need to match that with the one all the way on the left side. Okay. A little bit antsy. Okay, so there's the other green. I believe the other green was just right here. No, that was blue. Oh, whoops. So the other blue is on this, yep, it's right there. Getting dragged into the skulls against my will. So, sorry that you had to hear me utter such a noise. Yeah, so this is actually, I wouldn't say it's hard to execute on, it just requires patience and careful like mouse movement timing. And I'm going to reset again because I don't want to go for these with less lives than I need. So cyan, yellow, red, if I'm remembering. Yeah, we want to hit that one from under. Oh, we got a match. That's good. Okay, so get this focused in here. Then, yeah, that one slope right next to it is very good at making me hit the thing. So we need to like... So yellow and red, I remember those two. And I hit them. And I matched them. So red and blue. Was this one the blue one? It was. Alright, so that's one troublesome one dealt with. Now let's go for the other one. So that's cyan. That's green. Fell off the edge there. Wasn't expecting that one. And bounced off the corner. Yeah, it's quite hard to get these like moving in the right way. And even if you like try to rotate against it, there is still the like, if you desync enough, then it basically just translates to you moving with it instead. So another particularly devious aspect of this level. Alright, I'm just going to reset that one. So red, okay, got a free match, that's good. What's this one? Well, I missed it, but we do need to still hit it to know what it is, so... Alright, so that's a match. Which one was this? Cyan. Okay. It's hard to even tell what some of the slope directions are when they're so, like, almost laid out like an optical illusion. Alright, so that's green. Okay. So, mission is to touch that cyan and survive, which might actually be harder than just going here and touching this first and then going back over. And come on. Come on. Okay, level finished. I'm not one more leveling any further. So, that was an eventful recording. 73% the way there. So yeah, my prediction that last episode or two ago that would take about 3 or 4 more, definitely looking like it might be maybe a 3 or 4 more episodes from here even. Maybe 5 if I continue to run into stumpers, but thus far nothing has proven too much a challenge for me just yet. That meditation level really did test my limits though, but I had fun. So, till next time.